they went to the poll to vote on 12th of October 2025 with the vision of voting a president that will rule for 7 years. They campaigned. We were told how active, strong, powerful the president is, how agile, how he works from Monday to Sunday, late night, and he's still very active. We were reminded that he knows every Cameroonian by name and is very active by what he does. What is happening now? Why the urgency of the position of a vice president? Why the haste of a bill that was supposed to have been given to members of parliament to review and get back to their constituencies and ask questions and answer questions? Why the haste in a situation where we have been told that the prime minister is the head of government and controls the government? Why the haste of someone that will represent the president internationally in case he's not disposed, where we have top-ranking government officials who can be delegated to have the power? Why the haste to tell us that the vice president will be appointed and can be terminated anytime without even giving a clear-cut dichotomy of what his job description will be? Why the appointment system can an appointed vice president schooled an appointed principal or schooled an appointed head of department in a university will all appointed by the head of state? Are we not far from reality of what happened of recent in the Port Autonome when the appointed prime minister and minister gave an order at the Port Autonome and the appointed director general of the Port Autonome gave his own, which means an appointee has no power over another appointee because all of them have a strata. In other countries, the vice president has a clear-cut role with the mandate of the people. Is this not taking away what the people voted in 2025? Were we lied to as far as the agile nature, the strength, the powerful, the vigor and rigosity of the commander-in-chief? Those of you who looked at us in the eyes and told us how strong it is are still those of you defending and voted in favor of this bill. The truth be told, faced with universal deceit, according to George Orwell, telling the truth becomes a revolutionary act. By the end of the day, one thing is certain, that the truth is God. You can only kill the teller and not the truth. And when you kill the teller, the truth will haunt you. And the beautiful thing about this is that there is a word called retirement. And that word, for those who have been the privileged few, and for those who have been the silent majority are already used to the suffering, are used to it. But those who have the leverage right now, that when you are coming to Douala, they open the road for you. They give you security guard. You are privileged to information. There will come a time when you will be like us, and will remind you of what you did, how you did it, and when you did it. And when you come with complaints, we shall tell you we are already in the system, and the system must work. However, it is democracy. Democracy is government of the people, by the people, and for the people. But is it really for the people? If it is really for the people, why the haste of the bill? And why not having a clear-cut role as to what the vice president will do? And we are also told by part of the Article 15, sub 15, that the vice president, if he takes over, he may, in consultation with the Constitutional Council, participate in an election and also may dismiss members of government, appoint new one, and do a cabinet reshuffle. This is House of Commons with me, Tah Mai Javis. Happy Easter. In the studio, we are joined by a cream of panelists, but before then, I want to seize this opportunity to wish all of you Christians happy Easter from the different parts of the world. It is the day which we are talking about. Hallelujah, 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 Christ has risen. Like you go to many churches today, you hear the word, il est vraiment ressuscité. Pourquoi chercher parmi les morts? Il est vivant comme il a promis. En chantant, Alléluia. And they will say, ok, les joies qu'on m'a dit. Approchons-nous dans sa maison, dans la cité de Dieu du vivant. In the studio, we are joined by a cream of panelists, Mr. Suleman. He is a member, a strong bona fide member of the Social Democratic Front, SDF from Kumba. Salam alaikum.
Walaikum salam.
Welcome.
I'm happy to be here again after a very long time. We have convened again at Studio One on my media prime to talk on salient issues concerning our country. You are all welcome on board. And I greet my fellow panelists who have come together to join me in the deliberation.
Happy Easter to you also, Mr. Nyam Robert and your wife Juan in the United States of America. And happy birthday to you, Bacham Foban, who celebrated his birthday. And happy birthday to you, Bacham Foban, President of the Alumni Association of the Kali University of Boya. May God continue to guide and protect you, give you many, many more years. May your days be long as that of Methuselah. In the studio, we have Nick Anu. Nick Anu, Alele, happy Sunday.
Alele, happy Sunday to you, Mr. Javis. Happy Sunday to fellow panelists. It's been a while. I've been here, and we're here as usual to kind of speak truth to power as always, in order to bring meaningful change to our country. It is our duty, civic duty and responsibility to always speak out when things are not moving the way they should. I think the political life of our nation is in a kind of situation where if we don't always speak up, one day we all may be swallowed. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Also, we are joined by Engineer Dickson. He is one of the members of the civil society and has been firm and vocal that we must transform our society in a way that will impact skills and specialize on things that will give us more leverage than other nations. Engineer Dickson is also a member of the higher education family, trained many students at the level of the master's level and also in different specialty within the higher education family. He is here with us and had provided a blueprint on how we can solve the issue of our environmental hazard in Douala and across major cities in Cameroon. Happy Sunday and thanks for joining us.
Happy Sunday, Mr. Javis, and thanks for having me. Happy Sunday, happy Easter to our televiewers. Happy Easter to my fellow co-panelists. It's a privilege for us to be here once more to talk about issues that are plaguing our beloved nation. I want to wish a special happy Sunday to my mother in Limbe and a special happy Sunday to my father, Chu Tabi, in Kumba. Thank you, Mr. Javis.
Thank you very much. I want to call on our technical team, please. We need someone here in the studio because we need to be swapping, and it's not good for a panelist to speak right on to the end and the camera doesn't focus. I know I was not supposed to say this, but I had to say it. In the studio, we are joined by the member of the Jovians Party. This is his very first time. My brother Alfred Essaka, who is a coach, also here with us to share views as far as this program is concerned. And he is also going to answer most of my questions in French. Cameroon is bilingual. We must also ensure that Cameroon is bilingual. And for the bilingualism nature, we have to share this. Bienvenue et bon dimanche. Il est vraiment ressuscité.
Il est vraiment ressuscité, Monsieur Javis, bonjour, et bonjour à tout un million de téléspectateurs. Je suis content d'être là aujourd'hui. C'est un grand jour pour l'Église catholique aujourd'hui. C'est la plus grande fête de l'Église. C'est la plus grande fête pour un chrétien parce que c'est le moment où Jésus est vraiment ressuscité. Maintenant que je l'ai dit, je vais prendre, avant de commencer et d'entrer pleinement dans ce débat républicain que tu nous as convié, je vais prendre une minute pour dénoncer quelque chose. Monsieur Javis, lundi, je vais déposer une assignation à Orange Cameroun. Parce que ce qu'ils font aux Camerounais, ce qu'ils font... Je fais cette dénonciation-là aujourd'hui. Je ne fais pas de ça un débat, mais je fais une dénonciation de dire Il faut que nous, les Camerounais, nous puissions vivre dans notre pays et qu'on soit respecté par les institutions qui travaillent dans notre pays. Donc, maintenant que je l'ai dit, je dis bonjour et bonne fête à toutes les personnes, toute la communauté chrétienne qui est en train de célébrer la résurrection de Jésus, notre Seigneur.
Ok, on commence avec toi. La situation au Parlement, the situation where the Vice President position went into effect, they are voted, and there are 15 days, il y a 15 jours pour le chef de l'État pour signer pour devenir la loi.
Oui.
Quelle est la position des Jovians, parti Jovians?
Déjà, personnellement, il faut bien savoir, nous n'avons aucun problème avec la création du poste de vice-président. Est-ce qu'on se comprend? Il faut que les choses soient mises sur table. Il n'y a pas de problème avec cette idée de créer un poste de vice-président. Mais ce sont tous les contours de cette loi-là qui viennent créer un flou et qui fait en sorte que la population et même le parti Jouvence, on commence à se poser les questions de à qui est-ce que ça profite. Ne sommes-nous pas en train d'aller dans une monarchie, par exemple? Tout simplement pourquoi? Parce que moi j'ai sous mes yeux là, j'ai le texte de loi qui a été voté à l'Assemblée nationale. Figurez-vous par exemple que on vous dit le vice-président sera nommé par le président de la République. Et après, on vient encore plus tard, plus loin, pour vous dire que ce vice-président qui sera nommé va prêter serment à l'Assemblée nationale. Sur quelle base démocratique? Il n'a pas été choisi par le peuple. Si on voulait qu'il soit, si on veut qu'il prête serment et que ce serment-là soit accepté par le peuple, il faudrait qu'on organise une élection. Et nous ne sommes pas fous. Nous avançons dans une société organisée. Les pères fondateurs de ce pays, en pensant le Cameroun, d'accord, en pensant le Cameroun, on fait des textes pour régir comment les choses devraient se passer. Et nous savons que si le président de la République est francophone, alors le vice-président doit être un anglophone. Et maintenant, on sait où exactement on trouve les anglophones, c'est-à-dire au nord et au sud-ouest. D'accord? Alors, pour que ce texte de loi-là soit en conformité avec l'idée de vouloir voir une nation prospère, il faudrait organiser une élection au nord et au sud-ouest pour voter. Parce que, rappelez-vous que, à l'époque, quand on avait deux Cameroun, le président du Cameroun francophone était venu avec son équipe et le président du Cameroun anglophone était venu avec son équipe. C'est pour ça qu'on a eu John Funcha et on a eu Amadou Aïdjo qui ont discuté pour décider de se mettre ensemble. D'accord? Alors si aujourd'hui vous voulez nous créer un poste de vice-président, un vice-président qui aura la possibilité de mener à bout le mandat du président si le président n'est pas là, il faudrait que cette personne-là soit un choix populaire de la population. Et pour le faire, il faut une élection. D'accord? Nous ne sommes pas dans une monarchie. Il ne peut pas venir prêter serment à l'Assemblée nationale parce que si le parti au pouvoir, si le gouvernement voulait que ce texte-là soit en conformité avec la loi, on aurait pu passer par un référendum, par exemple. Parce qu'on n'est pas en train de parler, ce n'est pas une chambre qu'on est en train d'ouvrir, c'est un vice-président de la République.
Avec la responsabilité.
Avec tellement de responsabilités.
Parce que maintenant, on ne connaît pas ce qu'il doit faire.
Si le président n'est pas là, c'est lui qui doit répondre. Ok? Même s'il est vrai qu'on a dit il ne sera pas candidat et puis et tout, je suis d'accord. D'accord? Mais maintenant...
Mais on n'a pas dit qu'il ne sera pas candidat.
Oui, on n'a pas dit.
On dit que la texte dit que, en anglais, on dit mais. C'est-à-dire, c'est son décision. S'il veut, si l'interprétation en français dit que s'il veut, il peut être candidat.
Tu conviens donc avec moi.
Ce n'est pas définitif qu'il ne peut pas.
En fait, cette loi n'est pas faite pour la République. D'accord? Et moi, personnellement, et chez nous à Jouvence, on pense que ce texte-là, c'est une atteinte à la démocratie. D'accord? Et rappelons-nous également du discours de M. Biya qui disait, il y a de cela quelques années, que l'idée de préparer un successeur constitutionnel est antidémocratique, c'est de la monarchie. Et le Cameroun est une république démocratique. Donc si on veut un poste de vice-président, alors qu'on va aux élections et qu'on nous donne un texte qui mérite les Camerounais.
Mr. Sule, your reaction on that?
Yeah, I think Cameroon is our country. We have no other country better than Cameroon. We must stay here and salvage it together through dialogue and discussion, so that may lead us to an amicable compromise. You see, the beauty of democracy is that ability to have changes taking place. New innovation, new inventions, new ideas coming up. But our situation is very precarious. We are talking about the position of the vice president. The last time I heard about vice president is doing the Southern Cameroon politics. Now I'm hearing here after more than 40 years. I'm hearing about vice president. It shows that something is wrong with President Biya. Why are they talking about vice president now? Succession. Why are they talking about vice president? After that, when the vice president must be an Anglophone from the northwest or from the southwest.
But this current constitution did not take that into consideration.
If that is the case, therefore, there is no national cohesion, there is no national unity, and there is no national balance in the system. There's not, because if a French-speaking person will be president and a French-speaking person be a vice president, then there's no national balance in the entire system. The structure is dismantled. It's not there. So it
is confirming what President Paul Biya said to Mo Ibrahim, that on avait la possibilité de l'intégrer, de l'assimiler.
You see, the president himself has spoken several times, talking about national unity, national integration, peaceful coexistence, and living together. If not, they're distancing from this. So where do we start with Anglophones? They have a slogan they used to make, we are one and indivisible. Are we now one and indivisible if they relegate Anglophones to the background by not giving them the post of vice president? Something is wrong somewhere. Definitely there's something wrong somewhere. So what we are saying is that if they want this country to be seen as united, if they want this country to be integrated, then an Anglophone must be the vice president. But if they don't give the Anglophone has been relegated to the background, then something is going to be wrong somewhere.
What about the elective nature of the appointed nature of the position?
No, the president, look, they don't appoint a vice president. It has never happened in the history of the world that a vice president is appointed. In fact, the French colonial policy does not even recognize the post of vice president. They recognize the post of prime minister. Because all French colonies are only having prime minister. This is the first time we're hearing about vice president in the French colonized colony. So what we are saying is that if this vice president is going to be attainable, it's an unfortunate position that the rubber stamp parliament we're having, the rubber stamp senate we're having yesterday approved the post of the vice president. But again, what we are saying is that let an Anglophone take the position of a vice president. You have an Anglophone. So what's the role of the Senate president? There's a vice president. There's a Senate president. What is the rule? If Biya is not there, what is the rule? So what we are saying here is that we want an Anglophone to be vice president, not appointed, democratically elected. But if he's appointed, then something is wrong somewhere. Something is wrong somewhere, because Cameroon is greater than any other personality in this country. No matter who you are, Cameroon is greater than you, because all of us are going to pass away, all of us are going to die, and Cameroon will remain Cameroon. What are we going to leave behind for the generation yet unborn? So the position of that vice president, it should not be an appointed position. It should be an elected position, so that power should be given, sovereign power of the people should be given to the vice president. So in case there's any problem with the president, the man will take it very easy, go through as a successor provided by the law. But when you say you appoint somebody, we mean you can remove him at any time, you can appoint him and remove him at any time, and he has powerless powers.
Okay, Nick, your reaction?
My reaction is just that it seems to me that it's a kind of a hidden agenda, because you cannot be creating the post of a vice president. The country, it is the second time. The post of vice president was further in the federal constitution, and it was clear, and it was defined at Fumban with a vague idea behind that the Anglophone delegation that were at Fumban did not know the function. They did not know that the post of vice president would be an appointed post. Foncha was appointed and could be dismissed. It was written there in French. Many of them at that time did not understand.
Was dismissed.
Yeah, I'm talking like it was written that the vice president could be dismissed. But the idea was that bringing the two Cameroons together, the vice president, see if the vice president is Anglophone, the president will be Francophone, and vice versa. But without knowing that the president has powers to dismiss and appoint the vice president as of that time. And if they were to bring it this time around, to me, they could bring it in order to correct that historical error. But it seems to me that they're bringing it, and there's a kind of hidden agenda behind it from our own political observation and analysis. Because how do you explain? If Cameroon really needed a vice president, the elections just passed some months ago, and they could change the constitution as of last year before October election, and they introduce a post of vice president, so much so that the president could go in with that vice, and then the people vote for them, and so that if the president is incapacitated or resign, the vice president can have the mandate of the people to continue with this and finish the mandate. Not a kind of a creation of a post. It's just like a game. You create a post without a defined role, with a vague kind of role, and you say the person can finish the mandate of the president. Somebody who is not elected, who was not voted, can finish the mandate of the president in case the president resigns or is incapacitated. It's unheard of. That's no longer democracy. It's unheard of in any democratic society. And I think Cameroonians cannot, the representative of our people in parliament who voted for that really betray us.
Okay.
And they really betray us. It's a betrayer. It's a generational betrayer. And we don't need to accept that kind of a scenario. If you want to create a post, we are not saying that the post of a vice president, creating the post of vice is not a problem, but let it have a well-defined role and function. And the vice president should be voted if he has to assume, if he want to at one point assume executive power of the president if in case of incapacitation. He should be voted. If not, the vice president should just play the role of the president of the Senate in case where the president is, as of the last constitution, if the president is incapacitated, he takes the country and then organize election within 90 days and don't be part of that and cannot be candidate. But this is not what we're seeing. We're seeing this as a kind of manipulation, and I think in the days ahead, Cameroonians will be shocked. Will be shocked at the choices that will be coming up. And I don't think the post of vice president as a compensation for Anglophone, to me, I don't see like that. There's no law that says that Anglophone cannot be president of this country. So we should not look at vice president as a kind of compensation to Anglophone. We can also, and we wish to also rule this country someday. Yeah.
Engineer, are you foreseeing that an Anglophone will be appointed the vice president? Because many think that they will.
I think I want to go with Mr. Nick. I don't have a problem with who gets to the position of vice president. The problem I have here is the fact that it is stated in the bill that the vice president can complete the mandate of a president who was selected by the people. So it's just like the people say, we want you to be our president, and then you tell the people that, no, if I'm not there, let this man be. Meanwhile, the people didn't select that individual. So I think it doesn't tie with the republican nature of our republic. And the present constitution states that in the absence of the demissionnement, resignation of the president of the Senate. Who is the president of the Senate? He is an elected individual who has been elected by the representative of the people. So he is elected by
the different
representative of the people.
So that he
has a mandate. He has a voice. But an appointed vice president doesn't speak well. That's what I want to tie with Mr. Nick. He said it would have been better that this bill came before the election and is voted by the representative of the people, and then the president, in his infinite wisdom, select his vice president as a running mate, and the people vote for them. Then the vice president has a mandate.
Knowing that, okay, I'm voting because if this man is not there, this team man can do the job.
Yes, so that is my number one preoccupation. Number two preoccupation, in the current status quo, we have our prime minister who functions similarly like the vice president, because the president is executive, but he is the head of government.
He manages the government.
So he is the one that gives different recommendations as concern the various operations of the various ministries of the government to the head of state for certain decisions to be taken. Now that they are creating the position of the vice president, I went through that bill. I did not see any clear functions and jurisdictions of the vice president, this newly created post. So why didn't they spend time to really define that before the bill? Because it's like it's after the bill goes through that they'll go and sit now and then now define it. This may now put me in an anticipative mindset. It's as though the power of a position is dependent on the individual that is in that position, not that the office has the power. Because we may find ourselves in a scenario, I can say they can give an Anglophone vice president, then they give a Francophone prime minister. You now suddenly discover that the prime minister become very powerful because he is now the head of government, is a Francophone. He's so powerful more than even now the vice president who is an Anglophone. So for me, that's why I say I don't care who sits in the vice president or what, is that we should focus on creating strong institutions, not strong men. Because if we have strong institutions, it doesn't matter who sits there. Any Cameroonian that sits in that office will be respected and be given the due respect he deserves and allowed to perform the way he's supposed to perform within the law and exercise all the powers that the office demands. But if we start saying the vice president Anglophone, this, we have seen that tape. Don't forget that our current president was once a prime minister. And from prime ministry position, he became the president of the republic.
And at the time, the constitutional successor was Suleman.
Good. So, for me, this is a distraction. And like I said, what the parliamentarians say they should go ahead, create many posts as you want to create. What impact does that have on our economy? How does that better the life of Cameroonians? Right now, as we are speaking, cocoa farmers are crying. Cocoa has gone down in some areas right up to 700 francs. 500 even. The government not say anything. Does it mean they don't care? How do you step in as a state to stabilize the price? People are cutting down their cocoa plants. These are real issues. And you even move to the Ministry of Agriculture's website, you can't see any information concerning that. It tells you nothing is being done on that. We are here fighting vice president, prime minister, vice president, distraction. The economy is not working and we are creating posts. I don't care the number of posts that we create. We should
let the system work.
Let the system work. I've been saying that for many years now. Let the system work. This is window dressing. We create the post of vice president. We put an Anglophone. The people clap, oh, an Anglophone is vice president with no power. Powerless power. You are appointed. The people don't know you.
With all the Anglophone prime ministers, what is the state of their
with all the Anglophone prime ministers that we have been having, what economic impact have we had from that? So there are real issues, Mr. Javis, and I think that the concerns it's unfortunate that they have already voted the bill.
Yeah, but they have 15 days.
Yes,
there's a 15 days vacuum where the head of state, it takes 15 days for the head of state to sign. Because the issue is the law gives provisions for contestation at the Constitutional Council. If the bill is voted and you feel like it's not okay, you can seize to the Constitutional Council for hearing, and if the hearing is achieved, we all know if the hearing is achieved.
We don't need that.
When Mr. Mr. Javis, if it's received, they send it back to
Mr. Javis, we don't need all of this window dressing and calculative tricks. The president of the Senate is a Cameroonian. He can succeed the head of state. The prime minister is a Cameroonian. He can succeed the head of state. Depending on which, for me, creating all these positions doesn't influence the economy that much from my perspective.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Alfred. Now, everybody here seems not to be happy on the mode of the mode at which that position was created. It's like you said, the Jovians party is not against the creation of the position of the vice president. What they are against is the framework under which it was created and how the office is going to function, which means the Jovian's party belief, from what you are saying, is that that position should be clear. That, okay, if the president is an Anglophone, the vice president should be a Francophone. If the president is a Francophone, the vice president should be an Anglophone, and it should be, the two of them should be elected on a mandate.
Vous savez, ce que tu viens de décrire là tout à l'heure, c'est pas je pense qu'il le dit, tu vois. C'est pas je pense qu'il le dit, ce sont les textes fondateurs de notre pays. Les États-Unis sont une grande puissance mondiale aujourd'hui parce qu'il y a des pères fondateurs qui ont posé les bases et les jalons d'une institution forte. Et c'est pourquoi j'ai apprécié l'analyse du confrère sur le plateau tout à l'heure qui disait il faut qu'on puisse avoir des institutions fortes plutôt que des hommes forts. Et le problème actuellement au Cameroun, c'est qu'on a beaucoup d'hommes forts et on est en train de tuer les institutions. Est-ce qu'on se comprend? Et moi, quand il y a ce genre de débat, je préfère souvent entrer dans les petites situations de la vie courante pour essayer de comprendre un peu du point de vue du Camerounais lambda qui nous écoute par exemple à la maison. D'accord? Je prends par exemple l'Assemblée nationale. C'est l'Assemblée nationale et le Sénat qui ont voté cette loi. D'accord? On est en train de parler des personnes qui eux-mêmes ont été prorogés dans leur mandat et qui, aux yeux de la population, n'ont pas de légitimité. Est-ce qu'on se comprend? Il n'a pas convoqué le corps électoral pour organiser des élections législatives.
Parce que les mandats étaient finis.
Sous prétexte qu'il n'y avait pas d'argent dans les caisses. Ok, d'accord, il n'y a pas d'argent dans les caisses. Mais un député ou un sénateur au Cameroun, c'est 1 million de francs CFA par mois. Chaque fois qu'on convoque une réunion comme celle qui est en train de se passer à Yaoundé, il a 1 500 000 francs. Est-ce qu'on se comprend? Il a 1 500 000 francs.
Mais c'est une information qu'on n'a pas vérifiée.
Mais c'est vérifié, c'est pas moi qui le dis. Parce qu'il faut bien être clair.
Ce n'est pas authentique.
C'est pas Alfred, c'est pas je pense qu'il le dit. Les informations sont là et on va juste les piocher pour en parler. D'accord? Donc, vous êtes en train de me dire que le député qui gagne 1 million par mois, et je ne parle pas des commissions, parce que quand tu es président de l'Assemblée nationale et du Sénat, ce ne sont pas les mêmes choses, ce ne sont pas les mêmes conditions. D'accord? Donc, vous êtes en train de me dire que ce monsieur qui va percevoir ce salaire tout le temps de sa prorogation, on ne l'a pas changé parce qu'il n'y avait pas de fonds dans les caisses. D'accord? On n'a pas pu organiser des élections parce qu'il n'y a pas de fonds dans les caisses. Et c'est ces personnes-là, c'est à ces personnes qu'on a demandé le choix de dire est-ce qu'on devrait créer un poste de vice-président au Cameroun? Et ils se sont prononcés, ils ont dit oui. Sur ce point, je n'ai pas de problème qu'il y ait un vice-président au Cameroun. Je n'ai absolument pas de problème.
Mais
mon problème reste...
La salaire base pour le membre du Parlement, c'est oui. 309 000.
Tu regardes ton information,
pour la base.
Vérifier.
Non, pour la base. Maintenant, monthly receive a combination of pour basic salary, but with all the
they have sitting allowances.
C'est ça qui cumule ce que tu dis.
They have petrol allowance.
Maintenant que on a levé l'équivoque sur ça, ça veut dire que si ces députés qui sont là maintenant, qui n'ont plus la légitimité du peuple, parce qu'une élection, leur mandat est fini, on n'a pas organisé d'élection. C'est eux maintenant qui se sont prononcés pour créer. On ne peut pas dans une république sérieuse, on ne peut pas donner cette responsabilité à ces personnes-là qui ne sont pas légitimes aux yeux de la population. Est-ce qu'on se comprend? Nous sommes en train d'aller dans une monarchie, ça va dans tous les sens. Est-ce qu'on se comprend? Donc, M. Biya, on peut reprocher tout ce qu'on veut à M. Biya. Il a toujours travaillé pour que les textes du pays soient forts et qu'on puisse avoir des institutions fortes. J'ai lu le document sur la création du poste du vice-président. On vous dit le vice-président devra faire une déclaration de biens. On fait cette déclaration de biens devant la Cour constitutionnelle. Y a-t-il une cour constitutionnelle au Cameroun?
Oui, il y a une cour constitutionnelle. Tu ne peux pas dire il n'y a pas. Il y a. On voit ça tout le temps. Toutes les élections. Oui, on a.
C'est une cour constitutionnelle?
C'est une
pour ta interprétation. Mais pour la structure des États. Et pour le système. Oui, il y a.
Je ne suis pas d'accord.
Oui, je suis d'accord. Il y a. On ne peut pas dire qu'il n'y a pas.
Le président qui va arriver là, le gars qu'on va nommer, Parce qu'il faut bien qu'on dise les choses comme c'est. Ce monsieur qu'on va nommer demain pour être vice-président du Cameroun et qui, si monsieur Biya arrive à
s'il n'est pas là,
s'il n'est pas là,
oui, s'il n'est pas là,
d'accord, c'est lui qui va continuer à projeter la vision de notre nation. Ça ne sera pas une personne qui sera élue par le peuple, il n'aura pas la légitimité du peuple, mais la légitimité du président de la République. Est-ce qu'on se comprend? Ça, c'est déjà un problème. Ce monsieur doit prêter serment devant l'Assemblée nationale. Sur quelle base démocratique? Tu n'as pas été choisi par des gens. Ce n'est pas le peuple qui t'a choisi. Tu as été nommé. C'est une enveloppe qui a fait de toi un vice-président. Pourquoi le Premier ministre ne prête pas serment déjà? Pourquoi les autres ministres ne prêtent pas serment? C'est lui qui va venir prêter serment. On parle de déclaration de biens. Il va faire sa déclaration de biens. Pourquoi les autres n'ont pas fait? Est-ce qu'on se comprend? Est-ce qu'on veut créer? Je me rends compte simplement que tout ce qui est en train de se passer là maintenant, et comme nous, dans le parti Jouvence, on le dit très souvent, c'est une distraction. Le peuple doit rester concentré. Les vraies batailles sont en train de se mener maintenant. Et la vraie bataille, c'est que organiser des élections législatives et municipales. Les jeunes, soyons concentrés, allons investir les listes pour pouvoir changer en 90 plus 1. Donc 90 députés, 91 députés, on change tout ça. On change tout ça. C'est un détail.
Ok.
Ok. Si cette loi a été votée, c'est parce que le RDPC a une majorité. Même si on est d'accord qu'il y a des députés du RDPC qui ont fait des sorties où ils sont contre cette loi-là.
Oui, comme Zégué.
Est-ce qu'on se comprend? Donc,
oui.
Restons concentrés. C'est maintenant que se joue l'avenir de notre pays. Et c'est à nous les jeunes que revient le droit de pouvoir être concentrés pour prendre notre destin.
Okay, thank you very much. Mr. Sule, when we look at this bill, the Social Democratic Front articulated that they don't want this and they boycotted the session. But what is the way forward now? What suggestion will you have for your party?
No,
is it just to boycott?
No, let's go back to the constitutions. Let's go back to the provisions of the constitution. What did it say? You cannot appoint a vice president. President. It has never done in the history of the world. And you cannot come and there is a prime minister. Defined roles have been mandated to the prime minister. Why has not defined role been mandated to the vice president? People are appointing, are endorsing the post of vice president. They have not seen the function, the aim and objective of creating that post of vice president.
And the sad thing is, these are people who are heavily educated
and appointed by the people. You have
Which
not
people
seen,
are educated?
You have not seen the aims and objectives. You have not seen the
Which people are educated?
function of the vice president. You went and endorsed.
But we saw your paramount chief in Kumba praising the effort, stating that it is a very good thing that you represent the head of state.
It's not absolutely. It's not a good thing. My party has denounced it. It is not a good thing. All we want is that the prime minister has aims and objectives. He has his functions. Let them tell us the function of the vice president and his aim, so that before the parliament will endorse it. But they didn't do that. They just want to endorse it like that. And you expect. And again, the mandate has already expired. That's the most annoying thing. The mandate has expired. The parliament.
And they are taking decision for us.
See what Nietzsche has been
It has been
saying. See what
extended.
Nietzsche has been saying.
It has been,
See what Cameroon
it has been constitutionally extended.
Is there any provision for law for that?
Yes, there's a provision for extension.
That they have extended.
Yes, there's a provision, but that
They have the mandate of the people when they extend it.
should not
I know
be.
they will have changed.
They may have legality, but not legitimacy.
So that's the point I'm saying.
That's what they have. They don't have legitimacy
We want
with
to
the
know the aims and objectives of creating the post of vice president. We want to know his function. Like that, the prime minister will know. Let us know his own, so that there shouldn't be any contradiction, confusion, or discrepancy
But his function
between
is
the prime minister and the vice president.
his function is clear and he's a constitutional successor.
Oh, how does he come on as a constitutional successor? Is it through death? Is it through resignation or incapacitation?
The days are here, we shall see.
So is that what I'm talking about?
So it's in the bank they touche.
Is it okay? So that's the point. So we're saying that the whole thing is total confusion. Yes.
It's like Big G Baba sang confusion. There must be
total confusion.
there must be a mix of somewhere. Mr. Nick, so what is the way out for this, especially to the youth and to the opposition parties? Because in other countries, you see opposition parties will actually take this moment and protest.
Yeah, the way forward is that Cameroonians have been injected with the spirit of fear, and we have seen all the time when people go to protest, the way they are met with force, and many times are afraid. Many Cameroonians are not even aware of the danger that is happening in Parliament. They are not even. They don't even know that. Youth. Yeah, they don't even know what they are doing in Parliament is very dangerous for the nation. A new president is, quote and unquote, is being prepared to be ushered in, and through the post of the vice, through the window. That is a kind of somebody want to become president of a country through the window without passing through the door. That is I will say the door will mean through the election. To be a president of a country, you have to have legitimacy of the people, not legality. You don't need the legality to. What they're trying to do is not different from a military takeover. A military takeover can have legality. They can give reasons and say, and we have some legal backing, but not legitimacy. You have to have legitimacy from the people in order to rule them. Not that you just pass through the window and then you come out of it and then you become the president of the country. And it is a bad fate for Cameroon that we have to fight. Our history has presented this. Most of our presidents have never been elected to become president. For example, our current president did not become president in his first mandate by election. Yeah, he was just appointed through a kind of constitutional right. If you go back to even Ahiju, it was the same thing, the same kind of arrangement. I think they want the third president of Cameroon to begin power by that same measure. Because to me, it's just like a playbook that has been written, and they are just playing it out. If you look at it very well. Because if you cannot explain the fact that you send a bill to Parliament and they're hurriedly voting it without even analyzing the consequences and everything. And then we should stop looking at the issue of putting vice president Anglophone. To me, the vice president, they can put, if you bring that argument or saying that you have to put Anglophone as vice president to please Anglophone, it's just a play game.
But why can't
they can put, since the person can be dismissed, they can create a post, appoint an Anglophone. After 6 months, they dismiss the person. After all, we have put an Anglophone as vice president. So Anglophone now have voice tomorrow to talk. You say, after all, we have given you vice president. And they bring in the person they want. So all of these things, we have to be looking at it and analyzing them. So we have to look at the post for the interests of the country, the interests of Cameroon. What interest? How can you create a vice president without a well-defined role in the constitution? The president has well-defined roles. How come his vice is not having well-defined roles also?
He's having now.
So it's suspicious.
He's having.
No, the roles are vague. Look at it.
Successor now.
You cannot be a constitutional successor without a mandate of.
That's a role. That's the
reserve president. It sounds like a joke, but it's very serious.
No, but he's having. He's a constitutional successor.
No.
That's what the constitution has made us understand.
If the reserve president is just there, when the president is not there, then now he's activated.
Our way forward is that people of conscience, we expect the church, the church as the religious leaders of the country to speak up. Because since this issue started, you've not heard from our religious leaders who are supposed to be. We are supposed to hear a prophetic voice to stand and denounce most of these things, but most of them tend to romance with the state and then
because
keep
of the
silent.
Of the Pope, so they are
they have to speak out. Our political civil society leaders have to speak out and denounce this kind of way of getting into power, wanting to gain political power without the mandate of the people. Because to me, that's the end game. Because when we look at the situation, look at the end game of what they are trying to portray. What they are trying to portray is not like is not bringing the vice president who will walk and then supervise everything. The prime minister can be empowered to do all of that. But why not? If you want to create a vice president post, he has to. All we are saying is that he has to be well defined, not trying to usher in a new president of the republic in the guise of a vice president without the mandate of the people. All we are saying that it is a pity. It's really a pity for this nation. And then all we can do is just to denounce and speak out. We cannot really do much more than that. And in the days ahead, we may be shocked. We may be shocked to hear some of the names that will be coming in that direction.
Okay, thank you very much, Nick Anu, for coming. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me.
Okay, this message reads that, dear Mr. Tah Javis, they are packing, they are playing this delay tactics because October 2025 election showed them danger. Cameroonians should prepare well for the next election. Quine Jacob writing. This other one says. This other one says, happy Sunday to you guys in the studio. This vice president is to appoint Shantabia as president. Since the head of state did not, okay, thank you very much. This other one, it says, happy Easter to you. Happy Easter to you in the studio. We Cameroonians are just not ready to harvest what we planted in October presidential election. History was supposed to be changed, but we refused and denied the manipulation. The truth still remains and can be consulted. God will see us through. This is Bilbo from Bafusam. Okay, now, Engineer Dickson, what is the way out for Cameroonians? For those who want that this bill should further be amended.
Like I rightly say, the bill has been voted by our representatives in the parliament, but I think it's not too late for the post of the vice president to have real legitimacy. Some amendments can still be made by whoever proposed the bill, in the sense that we're expecting to see that the vice president should be someone on the mandate, not someone who have been handed a mandate. I think he will not speak very well, and it will not represent the will of the people. So for it to represent the will of the people, a small revision needs to be made. I will still reiterate, Mr. Javis, I have no problem with the number of positions they want to create, whether it's Vice President 1, Vice President 2, they can make even 5 Vice Presidents. The one question I'm asking, what is the economic impact of that position to our nation? I have said something here which I think the government is aware of, that cocoa farmers are in confusion, are in disarray. They are being disoriented. Some are in debt because the cocoa price has gone down drastically. For a government that is functioning well, I think consultative meetings should be going on with experts and stakeholders in that domain to see into it that farmers have that feel that they have a state that is there to make sure that their economic activity is stabilized. That's it. If we don't have that kind of a system, what I will have Vice President 1, Vice President 2, and Vice President 3, I feel the Cameroon situation will not be any different. You will still see workers leaving Cameroon for better life and future greener pastures out of the country. You will see young Cameroonians keep traveling. So there is no creation of any position that will change the status quo. The only thing that can change the status quo is when we get serious and get into production and encourage small and medium-sized enterprises and caution tax collectors not to strangulate businesses, but see to it that they accompany most businesses, most startups especially, to grow and be in a position where they can recruit many Cameroonians. Is the only way we can evade this mass resource, human resource migration that is taking place in our nation, something that has never happened. The rate at which people are leaving the country is something we have never recorded before. If it means nothing to the state, it means a lot to some of us, because it is one of the reasons we may not make any technological advancement. It's one of the reasons we may not make any agricultural advancement. We are still doing agriculture in a very archaic way, and that is why you see the agro-business sector of it is not stable. Farmers are selling their cocoa now at 500 francs. Meanwhile, the pesticides and the chemicals prices have skyrocketed, and they are all in debt, and nothing is happening towards that direction. So the vice president position is for their distraction that they are creating to the state, and I wish them good luck.
Barrister Dr. Asom Michael, you are one of the presidential aspirants, and when we look at this issue, you have been vocal on it. Why there's so much energy on a system which many termed it has been done and dusted at the parliament?
Well, good afternoon to you, Mr. Javis. Good afternoon to all our panelists and to all our viewers. I would like to express my sympathy to Jacques Bertrand. Jacques Bertrand is a member of the UPP party, and he was being arrested 2 days ago by policemen, the forces of law and order of the Commissariat Deuxième of Newberg. He has been sequestrated, as I would say, at the La Quintini hospital, because the police people, in their minds, they believe that he is insane and that he has to be in that unit. But of course, according to my appreciation as a medical doctor, I think he's not supposed to be there. And knowing fully well that Bertrand is an activist who has been condemning the poor state of our towns filled with garbage, who has also been condemning the video which was made by Brenda Bia the other day, calling on the Cameroonian population that she needs a girlfriend. And we all know that homosexuality in Cameroon is being punished by our penal code. My heart also goes to all those Cameroonians, especially women who have been victims of femicides, as we keep on hearing more and more cases. And finally, to cocoa farmers, as my co-panelist earlier on said, the prices have dropped to 500, 800, and I think last year it was between 4,500 to 5,000. Yeah, so it's really sad, and unfortunately, we are realizing that with what is going on actually at the parliament, we might still be experiencing more underdevelopment, more destruction of our whole society. And that's why I stood up against it, because first of all, we are looking at two things here. We are looking at the procedure that led to the bill, and we are looking at the bill itself. So when we look at the procedure that led to the bill, first of all, it is worth noting that the mandate which is being exercised right now by the members of the National Assembly is illegal. And I will say it's illegal. Why? Because the last municipal and legislative elections that took place in Cameroon took place in the month of March 2020. And in the year 2024, particularly in the month of July the 14th, a presidential decree was being delivered, extending their mandate from the 10th of March 2025 to the 30th of March 2026, an extension of 12 months. And when we go by the Constitution of Cameroon, an extension is possible according to Article 15, subsection 4, which provides that in cases of emergency, crisis, the president can propose a bill to extend the mandate of the parliamentarians. And it was clear when you look at the intention of the legislator, he talked about a period, so not periods. This particular article is corroborated by Article 170 of our Electoral Code of 2012, which provides that the mandate of members of parliament cannot be extended for a period of more than 18 months. Now, we know that after any extension, as provided by the Constitution and as provided by the Electoral Code, there must be an elections to elect the new members. Now, after this first period which was being extended, there was no elections. Now, let's even consider that it was possible to renew the period as many times as possible. It therefore means that the period could not be extended for more than 6 months again, following the fact that the Electoral Code has been clear on it that the period cannot be extended for more than 18 months. So, of course, we are seeing the National Assembly today expressing and actually holding upon a mandate which I would say is illegal. So that's the first thing. Now, the second thing is to talk about the bill itself. The bill itself creating the position of the vice presidency in Cameroon. Now, amending constitution or any constitution in Cameroon, it's being provided by Article 63 and 64 of our constitution. So Article 63 provides the procedure, and it clearly states that it can be initiated by the President of the Republic, by the President of the National Assembly or the Senate, by a member of the Parliament, if he's able to obtain at least a third of the votes of the other members in the Parliament. Article 64 actually precises those principles enshrined in the Constitution that cannot be amended. And that article is very clear. It states that if any amendment wants to be done on the Constitution of Cameroon that will have an impact on the form of the state, that will have an impact on the principles of unity, that will have an impact on the principles of territoriality, and most especially on the principles of democracy, an amendment cannot be carried out on the Constitution.
Okay, like
now,
he said something in relation to that, that they must go back to the people.
Of course. Now, when you look at the last exception, which is actually the principles of democracy, we realize that there is an issue. There is an issue. Why? Because according to Article 2 of our Constitution, sovereignty belongs to the people. And sovereignty is exercised by the President of the Republic and the Parliament. So this article actually enshrines what we call democracy, where we have the people electing their leaders. The creation of the vice presidency, we all know why that position is being created. And it is being created because everybody knows that President Biya is incapacitated.
No, why you say no, why you say everybody?
At his age.
No, you cannot say everybody. We saw ministers said he was active, he's working 247, he's a vibrant leader.
You know the allies tell us. It's not today that I've been saying lies. Even the last one who just presented himself in the presidential elections, Issa Chiroma, had spoken so much lies that it was something unbearable. And I don't even know where he even took the courage to even stand for president. You see, that's the type of country that we have today.
For forgiveness.
Yeah, we can forgive him. It's just like we can forgive him, but we cannot permit him to rule us. It makes no sense. It's just like Biya now asking for forgiveness and putting Frank Biya, his son, to be our next president, and you people will say, okay, because he has asked for forgiveness. So we are saying no. I think the state is lay. And the state is lay, there is a reason for it. It has a way of operating. And it operates in a manner where the leader, we must make sure that he is of physical stability, he is of good mental capacity to be able to rule his people. Now we know President Biya is 93 years old. For crying out loud, that is the oldest president in the universe.
How old was Queen Elizabeth?
No, she's not a president, please.
She was
she's not a president. It's a different type of leadership. It's different. She had never proclaimed herself to be president, so it's different.
You are a legal person. The Constitution also did not stipulate how old you should not be.
No, of course, the Constitution did not stipulate, but the Constitution mentions something. In that light, in Article 6, it mentions that in a situation where the President of the Republic is incapacitated, or he dies, or he cannot carry out, or resigns, he cannot carry out his functions, then vacancy must be raised. Yes. Okay. So now that is where implicitly we can bring in the issue of age, we can bring in the issue of physical instability, we can bring out the issue of mental instability, we can bring in the issue of fatigue.
But you cannot talk about the issue of fatigue when we see him addressing the nation of 10th of February, which is also an element.
No,
when welcoming members of diplomatic corps.
But you know what CRTV usually does. If there are moments where it takes off the camera, it takes out the we know that those things happen.
We are basing our mind on what we see.
Nevertheless, Nevertheless,
Okay.
nevertheless,
Move to
yeah, nevertheless, the creation of the vice presidency is unacceptable. I see some people still struggling to abate with the creation of this position. But it is not something we are even supposed to debate on or even think of who can be the vice president, because it is completely unconstitutional. And that is why I have been saying and repeating it, that we shall never accept the position of the vice president in this republic. And we as legal minds are going to take all the necessary measures. If it means asking for a public manifestation, a demand, we shall do it. If it means writing to the Pope, because I don't know why the Pope is coming to Cameroon when there is a legislative and constitutional coup that is going on. The Pope is the head of the Roman Catholic Church. The Roman Catholic Church is a country recognized by the UN to represent who? God and Jesus Christ. And we know the impact of the Catholic Church in our society. I schooled, my primary school, I did it at a Catholic primary school, St. Louis Primary School, Bonaberry. I did my secondary school, Sacred Heart College, Mancon. Those are all Catholic institutions. And they instilled in us principles of integrity, of service. And we are going to call the attention of the Pope that he should not be coming to Cameroon in a period like this where there is a coup going on. So we are saying that we want to advise and encourage all Cameroonians to keep on spreading the message over internet, over social media, that we are not accepting the vice presidency. We have been under bondage or even in the desert for 40 years, and we are not going to continue. Thank God that today is Easter. I believe that the resurrection of Christ is hope for Cameroonians, and I believe that as Christ did resurrect today, we shall be having a new Cameroon very soon through the resurrection of Jesus Christ. That's why
there's a new constitution to have a new Cameroon.
No, that is the plan of the devil, because he knows what is about to happen.
Good afternoon, Mr. Javis and co-panelists. Happy Easter to you. Happy Easter Sunday. I am Yom Simbom from Yaoundé. Foncha was Vice President and Prime Minister. Suleman Muna was Vice President and Prime Minister. Paul Biya eliminated the post of Vice President. Why should the Vice President be appointed? Paul Biya did not eliminate the post of the Vice President. It was Amadou Ahidjo who eliminated the post of Vice President during the 1972 referendum. So now he must be elected. I always doubt if those hand clappers are there representing the people. It's like they don't see another intelligent person that can rule this country apart from Paul Biya. They will be ashamed. Let them be shared there for long. They must go. It is only with time. Did Kavaya and Niat know their mandate will abruptly end? It was supposed to be a way that someone runs the press. Okay, thank you very much. This other right, it says, in the name of our Lord, I extend to you all in the studio happy Sunday and Easter greetings. The program today is another nice one. Mr. Javis and the panelists present are all the outspoken people who have always loved to hear something from them. In fact, they are the nation builders. Cameroon is going to be the very first country in the world that I am hearing that the vice president is appointed. All over the world, vice president are voted, and if the position of vice president is going to be appointed in Cameroon, then Cameroonians should just have it in the mind that this is another big scam in this country, political movement which is not going to help Cameroonians but to sink the country the more and push Cameroonians towards endless suffering. I will still add by saying that what our able engineer Dickson just said, that we should not be surprised to see that the position of the vice president may become very powerful than the position of the prime minister if it's going to be held by a francophone, and the vice president position will be very weak if it will be held by an anglophone. He is 100% correct, because that is the game plan that we have seen coming. I also want to say reasonably Cameroonians should not be clapping hands on this thing, like, because the aspect of vice president is just another distraction, and that they are bringing up to confuse the life of Cameroonians. Thank you, Ella Divine, writing from Nimbe. Okay, what should be the way out of this? What is your advice to Cameroonians? Is all hope lost?
Moi personnellement, comme j'étais en train de... Je fais déjà d'abord une petite correction tout à l'heure. Tout à l'heure, je vous ai dit qu'il n'y a pas de cours constitutionnel au Cameroun. Il n'y en a pas. Il y a un conseil constitutionnel qui est différent d'une cour constitutionnelle. Ce n'est pas la même chose. Okay? Le conseil constitutionnel, dans ses prérogatives, ne fait pas la même chose qu'une cour constitutionnelle. Est-ce qu'on se comprend?
What's the difference?
Donc, c'est comme si tu me dis, c'est pas parce que tu es infirmier que tu es docteur. C'est deux choses différentes.
Non, mais they are the constitutional council.
Il faut bien comprendre. Il y a un conseil constitutionnel. C'est le conseil constitutionnel qui proclame les résultats le conseil constitutionnel travaille d'abord pour l'État. La cour constitutionnelle travaille d'abord pour le peuple. Il faut bien comprendre la différence. Donc, maintenant
je ne suis pas très d'accord.
Non.
En tant que juriste, je ne suis pas d'accord.
Est-ce qu'on a une cour constitutionnelle au Cameroun?
Bien sûr, la cour constitutionnelle, c'est le conseil constitutionnel. Ce sont des synonymes. Ce ne
sont pas des synonymes.
Okay, yes.
Le débat n'est pas là.
Make your point.
Maintenant que ça c'est clair, il faudrait déjà rappeler, moi j'étais contre tout à l'heure, contre ce que le confrère sur le plateau, il était en train de dire que le problème aujourd'hui pour les Camerounais, c'est de savoir quel est l'impact financier, économique que cela va avoir, tu vois un peu. Et moi, je pense sincèrement que cette façon de penser-là a très souvent poussé beaucoup de jeunes à ne pas s'intéresser à la chose politique parce qu'ils se disent que ça ne les concerne pas. Est-ce qu'on se comprend? Donc, il faut que le jeune comprenne, par exemple, que le fait qu'il y ait des cacophonies à l'Assemblée nationale, qu'il y ait des cacophonies à la tête et dans le gouvernement, c'est ça qui va créer en sorte qui va créer les désordres, qui va nous permettre, qui vont nous empêcher d'avoir des routes, qui vont nous empêcher d'avoir une bonne connexion, qui vont nous empêcher d'avoir des marchés et parce que ce sont les politiques qui pensent à la vie économique d'une nation. D'accord? Et si ces politiques-là sont mal pensées, on est en droit de s'arrêter pour pouvoir poser un regard et pouvoir corriger le tir. Il y a 30 millions de Camerounais. Actuellement que nous parlons au Cameroun, il y a 30 millions de Camerounais. Et dans les 30 millions de Camerounais que nous sommes, 8 millions étaient inscrits sur les listes électorales. 4 millions ont voté. Et le président Biya a gagné d'après les chiffres qu'ils ont publiés avec 2 millions et quelques. D'accord? Ça veut dire qu'il y avait 8 millions d'habitants au Cameroun. Il y a 26 millions qui ne se sont même pas prononcés. Et qu'il y a 28 millions qui peuvent ne même pas être d'accord qu'ils soient là. Donc, le jeune et la maman qui est dans sa cuisine aujourd'hui à la maison, qui paye par exemple l'assiette de maïs ou de haricots plus cher, doit comprendre que tout ça n'est qu'une résistance des mauvaises politiques et des mauvaises gestions de notre République. Et par conséquent, on devrait pouvoir s'investir corps et âme pour pouvoir battre mettre fin à toutes ces différentes cacophonies en allant aux élections. La priorité des Camerounais et des jeunes, selon le parti Jouvence aujourd'hui, c'est qu'ils ont prolongé le mandat des députés. Ils sont en train de le faire, ils en feront pareil avec celui des conseillers municipaux. D'accord? Prenons ce temps pour travailler. Nous, de l'opposition, on doit travailler pour avoir une majorité à l'Assemblée, pour avoir une majorité dans les conseils municipaux dans nos différentes villes, pour changer les choses à notre manière. D'accord? Si le Camerounais, si tu veux avoir une nouvelle, tu veux avoir un Cameroun nouveau, un Cameroun meilleur, va t'inscrire sur les listes électorales et participe aux jeux politiques. Participe aux jeux politiques. Beaucoup de jeunes que je rencontre dans la rue, ou beaucoup de parents même que je rencontre dans la rue, chaque fois qu'on parle d'élection présidentielle ou bien d'élection au Cameroun, ils vont te dire, on connaît déjà qui va gagner. Ça, c'est la phrase qui te sort tout le monde. On connaît déjà qui va gagner.
Mais comment on va quitter dans cette idéologie?
C'est pour ça que c'est là le rôle des partis politiques que nous sommes. Un parti politique, ce n'est pas seulement pour s'engraisser ce soir. Non, un parti politique est là pour travailler pour la population. Regardez par exemple la ville de Douala. Nous sommes actuellement à Douala 5e par exemple. La mairie de Douala 5e a été désavouée par les populations de Douala 5e. Avec la police municipale qui a passé tout un mandat à brimer les populations. Et c'est ces gens-là qu'on prolonge encore leur mandat. Voilà les gens qui sont appelés à continuer à diriger notre pays. Et comment vous ne voulez pas que la population, comment vous ne voulez pas que les jeunes aujourd'hui soient frustrés, soient mal en point, que la société soit mal, avec les routes qui ne sont pas faites. Et chaque fois qu'on devra en parler, ils nous sortent toujours des distractions, comme la distraction. Hier, moi, j'ai suivi cette loi, ce travail sur la loi sur la chaîne de télévision nationale. Et pendant qu'ils étaient en train de faire ce travail, le journaliste de la Fiat TV a quand même trouvé le moyen de nous dire il y a le pape qui arrive. Arrêtez de déconcentrer les Camerounais. On n'a pas de problème avec l'église catholique. D'accord? Toutefois, les Camerounais doivent être concentrés sur ce qui est en train de se passer.
Good afternoon in the studio, gentlemen. If they are able to bring out the different functions of the vice president for some of us, not to confuse with that of the prime minister, and that the people should make their choice. If not, we may be tempted to say it's something to make the country boom. Contributing from Bayangam in Bayangam in the West Region, Frank. What should be the way out? We're out of time.
Well, the way out is that one, they should appoint a phone as the vice president. Number two, they should appoint, they should not bring in tribalism, favoritism, and religious differences in the appointment maybe of a prime minister. Number three, we want, we are fighting, the government should fight corruption, embezzlement and fraud, capital flight, one government to fight all those things. And number three, the marginalization of the phone should stop, because we want a national balance to be entrusted in this country. That's all. Okay.
Happy Sunday to you, you guys in the studio. I strongly think Cameroonians are not ready for change. Until then, they should do the needful, just like what Barrister Dr. Asong said. What is the needful? That is the $1 million question. What is the way out?
We are still on the way out, Mr. Javis.
And your message to Cameroonians? We are almost out of time.
My message to Cameroonians is that despite the continuous creation of administrative web that we witness in our country, there is still hope. I think the coming of technology and artificial intelligence will position vibrant and smart Cameroonians in a better way that will permit them to give honorable contributions to this nation. And we can only solicit to the state, the government in place, to make sure the environment is favorable. We want to thank all the stakeholders who have seen into it that the tax that was imposed on MTN mobile money and Orange money was reduced. I think many Cameroonians have not discovered that the tax have reduced. Before, to withdraw 10,000 francs, they will cut 200 francs. Recently, it has stepped down. I don't just want them to limit it there. I want the state to also look at other areas like insurance of cars, like vignettes of cars. Why not? They should make our lives easy. They should look at the importation tax so we can live a moderate life, because commodities keep going up but salaries don't change. So we solicit the state that they should keep up with the good work and see into it that the taxes are regulated in a way that it will be fair enough for all, and we'll be very happy to pay our fair share of the tax and seeing to it that our country works in the direction, and hoping that we have new legislators come the next election, like my brother said, that for our municipal councils that will drive infrastructural growth in our various divisions and regions. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Let me take on this one. This one says, "Good afternoon, Mr. Tah Mai Javis, and to all members in the panel, and happy Easter." A member of your panel said that he will like to encourage others to discourage through social media platforms the coming of Pope to Cameroon. I wish to ask him what is the added value of the Pope's visit to ordinary lives of Cameroonians from a social economic perspective. Whether he comes or not, it is not a kind of trophy that the state of all the people will win. Against the Vatican through a state. The Vatican, though a state, only has an observed seat at the United Nations with no voting power, and therefore do not participate in the politicking of the United Nations, though of course can recommend or lobby agenda which are not always attended to. This is divine from Boya. Barrister, that one is suggest to you.
Yeah, of course, people might think that there is no added value to the visit of the Pope, but when you look at the billions being put in place for the visit of the Pope, when you look at all what is going on to construct roads, to build infrastructure for the coming of the Pope, we all know that there is something hidden. Of course, the people will not know everything that the Pope represents because there are some hidden secrets of the state. But what I am talking about is the way the state prepares for the coming of the Pope. It means it is significant. Now, if we want to have an impact, we must touch those things that affect, of course, the state. And that is why we are saying that if the state, the government considers the coming of the Pope very important, they give value to the Pope, then we must remind the Pope that he is dealing with liars, he is dealing with demons, and those are the people. If he is the Pope, he has to start condemning them.
No, you cannot be dealing with demons now. No,
well, it's my opinion.
No, but
it's my opinion.
It's my opinion. Yes,
it's my opinion. Now, he has to know that he is standing for truth. He is representing God on earth. And of course, he's representing justice. This regime has not been a regime of justice. This regime has not been a regime that has brought joy to the people. In Proverbs, it is being written that when the people have a good leader, they rejoice. But today in Cameroon, everybody is crying. It means that they have a bad leader, and he has been there for long.
Doctor, when you say everybody is crying, what you say
everybody is crying?
No, excuse me.
Oh, you're not crying?
Have you seen me crying?
Oh, you're not crying?
No, I'm not crying. When you say everybody,
I don't mean crying with tears.
Yeah, when you say
complaining,
when you say everybody, yes, I'm coming.
Yes.
When you say everybody is crying, when you go to the bars, you see people dancing, Women's Day dancing.
No, you
don't say way of crying. You see another way of crying.
Way of crying.
You go now, and when you watch people say we thank God on stage.
No, when I discuss with Cameroonians, they tell you that
what do you mean by crying?
The goal of drinking alcohol is that they can quench their suffering. That's what people tell me, that you want to ban alcohol. The only thing that is permitting us to live in this country and forget our problems. So Cameroonians don't drink alcohol because they love alcohol. They are using it as a treatment, as a therapy, which is a very bad therapy because it treats nothing. Secondly, when Cameroonians
members of parliament who voted for this bill are crying, if they are crying, how do they vote for the bill?
But those are puppets. Those are puppets. We don't consider them representative of the people.
And say, go and vote like this.
The Constitution is very clear in Article 15, that I think subsection 3, that members of the parliament represent the people and not their individual parties. So we were expecting that the members of the National Assembly, who are even though are of the CPDM, they should at least have that minimum wisdom, constitutional wisdom, to know that they are representing the state. But that's not what they are doing.
They don't have constitutional wisdom.
Of course, what they are doing, they don't have constitutional wisdom. By the way, we have proven it here without doubt that they are violating the constitution. So it's very unfortunate what we are seeing today in Cameroon, where we have people who don't even have the minimum capacity to govern this nation and to rule, find themselves in position of leadership. We're out of time, and that is what we are condemning today.
Briefly, what is the way out? I saw you posting a poster saying no, without any other level.
Of course, as I always said, that the first thing is we have to sensitize the population. We have to help the population understand that what is going on is wrong. Many people do not know, and that's why the video I made explaining what is happening in the National Assembly went very viral, because people don't even understand what is going on. We have a regime that has done everything to prevent the people from having knowledge, because they know that knowledge is power, and that is what we want to spread. Because if the people know their rights, if they know their constitutional rights, if they know that they are sovereign, then let me assure you that what this government is doing today, they are not going to do it. And that's why we have to keep on condemning it. We have to keep on. And as I said, I will be demanding for an authorization for a public manifestation. We are not accepting the post of vice presidency. It's our constitutional right as a sovereign people. And we are saying no to it, no to manipulation, no to the legislative coup, no to the constitutional coup that is going on actually now in Cameroon.
Briefly, your message to the members of parliament.
My message to the member of parliament is that they have disappointed us. They have proven to us that they are stomach politicians. They have proven to us that the interest of the people of Cameroon is not in their heart. When they have a leader that they say they are in a state of democracy for over 40 years and it means nothing to them, they are happy over what is happening. It actually proves that they don't have the interest of the people in their hearts. My message to them is that it is not too late. They can repent. They can do what they can do, the needful, they can do the necessary to ensure that the interests of the people are protected. And we are telling them that we who voted them, we are going to make sure that they are kicked out. We are first of all going to contest the mandate, contest this bill, and we are going to make sure that they will be kicked out as soon as possible.
Thank you very much for coming. Thank you for coming.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Asule, for coming.
Yeah, I'm happy to be here and thank you for the program.
Okay, I want to also thank you, the representative of the Jovian, Alfred, for coming.
Ouais, merci beaucoup, Javis, pour cette invitation. Et je tiens à rappeler, par exemple, que à l'école primaire, lorsque mon professeur nous donnait la définition de la démocratie, il avait bien fait de nous dire démocratie is government of people, by the people, for the people. Okay? Et actuellement, ce qui est en train de se passer, ce n'est ni par le peuple, ni pour le peuple, et encore moins, ça ne sert les intérêts du peuple. Donc, je réinterne mon message aux jeunes Camerounais, aux jeunes qui m'écoutent aujourd'hui. Ça nous concerne. D'accord? Inscrivons-nous sur les listes électorales et allons faire valoir notre droit pour pouvoir changer les choses. Merci à vous et bon dimanche.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you very much, Mr. Javis, for having me. It's been a pleasure being here and sharing this podium with bright minds like Mr. Sule and our presidential candidate, Dr. Assong. I want to say happy Easter. Enjoy yourself today. Happy Easter once more to my family in Kumba, my father especially, Mr. Chutabi. Happy Easter to my beloved mother, Madam Tah Emilienne in Limbe. Happy Easter to you all. Thank you.
Happy Easter to you all, and happy Easter to all the members of the choir Negro Spiritual. Happy Easter to the members of the choir Negro Spiritual. Happy Easter to you, Beltem. Happy Easter to you, Kandem. Happy Easter to you, Caron. Happy Easter to you, Stephanie. Happy Easter to you, Dr. Edin. Happy Easter to you, Hilary. Happy Easter to you, Marimat. Happy Easter to you, Eve. Happy Easter to you, Ingrid. Happy Easter to you, also Frank. Babana. Happy Easter to you. Happy Easter to you, PGP. Happy Easter to you, Treasure. Happy Easter to all those of you of Nego Spiritual. The list is long. Happy Easter to all those of you who actually went to church today. I want to wish happy Easter to you, also the maestro of Nego Spiritual. Happy Easter to you, Yolanda. Happy Easter to you also. Happy Easter to you, Misael, and of course, Karel. Happy Easter to all those of you. Dennis, until we meet again, no matter the matter, what matters is your matter. And what should matter is that you should pay attention to what is happening before you come and cry later. Had I known is the last kick of the dying horse. My name is Tah Mai Javis, Cameroon's commercial capital, Douala Fengo, John Bye-bye.